as he returns, we're going to go ahead and get into the session within the next 2 minutes. Let's go ahead and let the drivers load in for a moment. So currently we have, looks to be almost a full lobby. We'll have 27 drivers on the track, although it looks like a few just left the session at the last moment, which will decrease us just a little bit. Go ahead and take a look at the standings here. Once again, we have Vasco leading out the pack in first place, followed by Daniel, Lloyd, Rift Raft, Sir Fallacy, Zank, Dermot Legacy, Hobby, Kaz, Eltham, DJ Mix, Zhao Zing, Joa, DHVR, Aletta, Burke, Narantes, Cinta, Uncle Sleazy, Feed, Anti-Kirch, DBR, Toppy, Pitbull, Shift Get the 240s, Microtron, and that will do our pack for the end for this race. We have 1 minute left, and then we will go ahead and get into it. And we're getting reports from Eltham here, who is in this race, that he had an incident during qualifying that may have caused him an issue, leading him to start in 10th place behind two of our GT3 cars. But with that quicker launch, he will be able to get ahead of them here at the start, hopefully. We have 1 minute left on the clock as we wait for our drivers to ready up. Go ahead and take a look here in the chat. And as you can see, we are running performance impacting damage day at the maximum scale with authentic tire and fuel usage. Our pit speed is 40 kilometers an hour, and they are being forced to use realistic driving aids for their cars. So if their car has ABS, they get it. They have traction control, they get it. If not, tough. We have 4 track limit warnings today, so once they've done 4, if they do 1 more, they may be awarded a drive-through penalty. Otherwise, it will be a time penalty awarded towards the end of the race. Here we go with 15 seconds left on the clock. We're going to be getting into this session shortly. Let's go ahead and let the drivers get ready as we get onto the grid. We see Vasco is going to go ahead and lead our pack. They're going to have a 1 warm-up lap, I believe, 1 round around the track. He's going to be leading. We're going to have a safety car out for this type of start. Let's go ahead and get everything up on the board that we need to see. Go ahead and close the chat box for now. Get our controls tucked away. Get started. As we said before, we have Vasco leading the LMP1s today at Le Mans. And with the GT3 category, we have Javi, who was doing pretty good, making it to the end with a GT4 car at Daytona with all that rain and chaos that went down. And with the GT4 cars, we have Zhao Zing and Burke, looks like, leading that pack with their incident. There may have been another incident in the back, and sometimes happens with those rolling starts. Maybe a bit egregious. Let's take a look. We see a couple of our drivers lining up the back, not sure what to do. Of course, they are forced to follow behind, so that's where it is. Looks like they may be trying to sort out the pack. We don't know, though. With these open lobbies, we don't hear them. We can't communicate with them. We're just here to spectate and commentate. Here we come down the back stretch as our drivers are lining up, warming up those tires. Definitely a good idea, but they have to be careful not to hit each other. Don't want to cause damage to themselves before the race even gets started. As we come down the grid, as we see Vasco's going to be in that 22 LP1 car, followed by Daniel in the yellow and black 11 car. Lloyd rounding out third and second with the number 2. No, sorry, not second. Rounding out third with the number 2 car. He's reading his number as if it was place. Rift Raft in the 46 car, looks like, black and red in fourth position. Fallacy rounding right behind him in the same livery with the 46 car. Zank rounding in. Zank is going to be behind them in that white and red that we were seeing from the last session with another driver. Love that color scheme right there. It is definitely a good looking one. And behind him we see another one. Looks to be the 46 cars in black and red. This is the 15 Dodge from Alpha. getting bumped into by DJ. They need to clean it up. They need to warn the drivers. And warn the drivers to line up in one line so that way they can stop crashing into each other. As can something see already, the cars phasing through each other. We're going to go ahead and just stick with Vasco here at the front of the pack. Some of our drivers are already dropping out. I believe I said that. That must have been somebody else that left. Sometimes the game glitches out and posts your message if somebody else has More of our drivers dropping out due to incidents in the warm-up lap. These drivers are ready to go fast, not slow, and it is showing. But we call this the initial filter. Picks out the drivers that are going to be able to make it all the way through to the end of this race. Go ahead and step away for a moment as we get ready for it to come around to the starting line. back straight. Here comes our lights, and Vasco is leading the pack as we get into this race. Let's go ahead and see. We see Lloyd and Daniel quickly overtaking Vasco into the first turn, not having a great launch as the 46 car of Rift Raft is right behind him. The race begins in the night, the headlights beaming ahead into each other's cockpits. Looks like, Vasco takes the turn wide. Lloyd being able to pull ahead in the front in that white and red livery car with the number 2. Daniel right on his tail, though, as they come towards the straight. And as we look back into the GT3 category, Javi is being chased down by Kaz with you Sleazy right behind them. Javi spinning out into the turn. He's going to lose position. Kaz is going to pull ahead. Pitbull overtaking in the GT3 category. As we come back to the front, Daniel is going crazy down the straight, attempting to get past Daniel. Here they come down the stretch with Rift Raft and Fallacy being chased by Vasco behind. Zank not too far behind as we can still see them in the camera. The headlights zooming down the straight towards the chicane. Great racing coming here from Daniel and Lloyd today. As Daniel makes the overtake, he's able to get past Lloyd into the second part of the back straight. Vasco taking over in the back from Fallacy. Rift Raft leading in third place with that pack behind. And it looks like Zank is going to be chasing them down. Somebody has their headlights off behind them. Could be dangerous. We don't know if they damage them or not. Get a good look. And looks like Lloyd is going to get run down the inside. Will he be able to make it through in the braking zone? Ooh, and a car goes off behind. Who was that just dropped into the wall? We can't tell at the moment. We didn't see any positions lost. I'm not too sure who that was. Could have been a visual bug. We're not too sure, but we'll take a look at the cars later. Daniel running down towards the end of the back straight. Here we come towards the braking zone. Will Lloyd be able to make the move? Looks like they're taking it easy on this lap one. It's going to be a smart choice. We still have 22 minutes left in this race, almost 23, I should say, plus 1 lap. So once that timer is done, they will have to run an additional lap. It looks like most of our drivers have made it towards the end of the back straight. Looks like there is a driver that went off in the back with Vasco. Ooh, lots of damage to the car. We don't know if he'll be able to make it back to the pit without retiring. And it looks like Microtron is similarly dealing with an issue himself, not even around the first sector. I don't know if he's going to be able to make it to the end of this race. He's looking like a danger on the road. Kaz leading in the GT3 category, but Arantes and Burke racing behind in the GT4s. I think Arantes needs to turn his lights on. They're the only ones. He's having trouble turning it on because we can see the flashing going off the road. Burke's going to be making the chase after him. He's going to have to cut back. Arantes making an erratic move there. Almost trying to cut a cross. They're going to go wheel to wheel. There we go. He's turning on the lights now. Here they come into Sector 3. They're still going door to door. Incredible racing. They're not hitting each other off the track, so we're going to be okay with it. That is some impressive racing door to door. And I did see that, Vasco. I am so sorry. It is very unfortunate what happened with you there. I looked back and I saw you cut back. And it seems like Lewis may have been in this race. Oh, no, I see now he's saying that he might have driven in. Don't worry, we will be running the public lobbies for pretty much the whole afternoon. And as we cut ahead, Lloyd having a miraculous lead of 7 seconds with Zank behind him and Sleazy chasing after Zank. Eltham not quite where they are. He needs to get those headlights on. It's going to help him see where he needs to drive on the track so he stops going off. We'll cut back to Arantes. It looks like he's gained a lead over Burke. Not too sure what happened back there. DJ Mix leading in second place, coming out of the pits right now. Javi also coming down. Looks like we have a few drivers attempting to make their pit stop to repair damages. Or was some chaos in the back straight as we saw towards the chicane. And also, I do want to thank the Gooses Loose for subscribing with Prime today. I do appreciate that donation, essentially. Any revenue we make here on the Twitch channel is going to go back into any Raccoon Racing Productions-based leagues. That way we can have prizes and awards for our drivers. With all of our leagues being free to enter, this gives them a chance to earn money doing the thing they love. And that's what we love to see. And as we go back ahead, Lloyd once again just blasting down the straight with Zank and Sleazy going to battle towards the chicane. Looks like Sleazy is able to make the overtake. Zank chasing him down from behind, though. He's not going to give up. These LMP1 drivers having a wonderful car for a track like Le Mans tonight. But as the race goes on, we will see that sun rise up soon. And once again, we see Kaz also leading the GT3 category. Doesn't have really a race going on. He's more of having a casual Saturday drive. Not really having to have any challenge, but we do see DHVR back on the track now in the GT3 car. He should get his headlights on hopefully at some point. DJ and Mix pulling out behind. Looks like they have about a lap's difference between the cars after all of those pit stops. But we do know that his safety car will be coming at some point during the race. And then we go once again, down Lloyd coming in to Sector 3 here. Let's go ahead and pull up the timings real quick. He's currently running a 357, basically a 358 with that milliseconds there. But that's still much faster than we're seeing from any other driver right now, allowing him to pull ridiculously far ahead. And it looks like at the moment, Sleazy will have a 5-second penalty. So that is going to hurt him in the long run, going up against Uncle Sleazy there. Let's go ahead and take a look at those two drivers. With that 5-second penalty, though, he only has about, well, let's see. Oh, it looks like Zank is off the track. He may be retiring. He comes around to pass him. Let's go ahead and take a look for, and yeah, so never mind. That is our yellow flag. We were just taking a look at that. Let's go ahead and browse the track. Most of our drivers are currently fixing themselves in the pits. Hopefully we see them come out at the same time, so that way they are able to race each other. Although it looks like car number 5 is making a chase down to car number 4. I understand that they are different categories, but the cars do run at similar speeds. It mostly comes down to the difference in handling in the turns. Go ahead and get an adjustment to that audio. I do appreciate it, Goose. Feedback is always important. That should fix it going forward here now. I also know my mic isn't always the best at picking me up. Unfortunately, we are looking to change that at some point. But that should fix things now. I'm going to go ahead and turn it down just a tiny bit again because I know I tend to peak. All right, that should be the good number right there. All right. As we take a look again, Lloyd just gliding through at the front of this pack, but Sleazy is making a chase down now. He only has 9 seconds of a gap to make up. Eltham definitely struggling a little bit more, though, with a 30-second gap with 16 minutes left in this race. Arantes leading the GT4s at the moment, with Burke not too far behind, only a 10-second gap, but definitely needs to keep the car on the road if he wants to get past these drivers. And DHVR still driving in the dark with those headlights off. It looks like they may be damaged, though, based on that reflection. I'm not entirely sure. And we'll cut back to the 4 and 5 car as we can see that Kaz has now been passed. And as we know, we started this race with almost 30 drivers on the track. We are down to what looks like to be 14 now. The culling has happened at this point. We see the drivers that want to stick it out to the end. With 15 minutes left in this race, we know that safety car is coming any moment to reset the pack back to a racing form. As we take a look at Gloyd, here he is coming down into the end of Sector 2, making his way towards Sector 3. We'll take a look again at those timings. Seeing a 114 out of him in Sector 1 and a 104, or he's currently running his Sector 2. So we will see that timing here coming shortly. If we take a look again at the map, he will be exiting Sector 2 here in a moment. Now that we see that he is passing, let's go ahead and take a look at those times. We see a 114 in Sector 1 compared to a 115 from Uncle Sleazy, and a 133 in Sector 2. And it looks like I am currently joined by Mr. Jinsu.
Yeah, I didn't mean to do that, I don't think.
You're good, man. Currently we are broadcasting AMS2 with live open broadcasting for open lobbies.
Hi, everybody. I'm leaving now, though. I'm going back to waiting for drivers.
No problem. Have a good one, man.
Ya.
I will be in there soon.
Sounds good.
And as we're receiving some information from the Goose is Loose, it looks like Gloyd has raced in their league for a little bit. And I have raced with the Goose is Loose. He's definitely a fast driver, so if he's vouching for somebody, it is a good sign of respect to another driver. And as we come towards the daylight, you can see some of the headlights just breathing through the air, reflecting off of that gorgeous track surface of Le Mans, a legendary circuit for our drivers. And if we take a look back, it looks like Eltham is about to have somebody chasing him, with Daniel not too far behind with a 2-second gap at the moment. We see him roaring around the corner in Sector 3, coming down towards Eltham once again. The American driver against Eltham. As we see him on the rumble strips, making use of all of the track surface that he's allowed to. And it looks like Eltham went off the track. Daniel makes the overtake, taking third place. That's going to give him an advantage during the safety car restart. But at this point, too, we know how long it takes to get around this track. If the safety car decides to come out in the last 5 minutes like it did at Daytona, it's going to be probably settled under the safety car. So let's hope it comes out at the 10-minute mark, giving our drivers one last sprint through the track. We do have +1 lap enabled, so if the safety car does come out, they will get one more chance and one final sprint at each other. Looks like Lacinta is making a pit stop for that damaged front end. He smashed it at some point. Javi making his way up from the back. He's only about half a lap down from the cars in front of him, with DJ Mix chasing after DBR, and DBR chasing after DHVR. So many letters to read out today. Kaz still leading by a mile in the GT3 category, and Burke being the only survivor left in the GT4 category, giving him the win today as long as he makes it to the end of the race. We see more of our drivers retiring as we're down to 13. We lost another. Gloyd coming down the back stretch of Le Mans, making the most of his LMP1 car's straight line speed. The DRS enabled. Go ahead and join him in the chase cam as we see that wing close in the heavy braking zone, making his way towards a back marker. He is really making some progress around this track today here at Le Mans. Ooh, and it looks like the car behind had to reset. I think that is Javi, if I remember correctly, in the yellow car. Nope, it is going to be one of our other drivers in the GT4 category. It's going to be DJ Mix, has stopped on the track for some reason. Microtron reporting in that he didn't even get through lap 1, having his car destroyed in the formation. Those formation laps can definitely be tricky, and we'll probably remove the formation lap going forward while keeping the rolling start, as it seems to cause way more issues. Drivers don't know how to keep a gap between themselves until the start line. But that's public lobbies for you, and that's what this broadcast is for the chaos and fun of open lobbies as a spectator. We're going to go ahead and take a look ahead. We still don't see the safety. Oh, that is going to be the signal for our safety car. So while we watch that happen and take place, we're going to go ahead and take a break from the commentary. We will catch you back as our cars make it around to begin the race once again. Alright, as we come back into Sector 3, our pack behind definitely needs to catch up with that number 6 car with DBR. But Gloyd is going to be leading the pack at the LMP1 category here at Le Mans today as our safety car is coming close to an end. Uncle Sleazy is taking up second position in the LMP1 with Daniel in third. Kaz, DHVR, and DBR rounding out the GT3s for positions 1, 2, 3. Rift Raft going to have to make a pass on them in the first turn, hopefully to get towards his group with the LMP1s. Burke once again being the only remaining surviving GT4. I think he just crashed. Oh, nope, our camera was just being a little bit silly. Javi being in the GT3 with Lacinta right behind him, and Fallacy in the back looking like he has a damaged car possibly. I don't see part of his front end. Nope, it is still there. But they do need to catch up if they want to be able to have a chase at the pack. Alrighty, let's see our safety car come in. Here we go. As the safety car pulls in, we're going to go ahead and come on board with Gloyd in first position as he's going to lead the pack towards the restart. Getting a good launch around the chicanes. Let's see him pull away. That's going to be the start of this race as we go into the last 2 laps. This will be the final sprint of this session. None of the drivers able to get a pit stop with how late the safety car came once again. Uncle Sleazy coming around with Daniel and Kaz right behind him. He gets a better launch out. Daniel's going to have to do some catching up there. Gloyd taking off with a 2-second gap towards the back straight. And we see Kaz leading out the GT3 category here. Although I'm a little bit confused as it's showing him ahead, yet he's racing past the other cars. I do now see, okay, there is a gap between him and the cars behind. That does make more sense now. And as we see, Daniel is going to get chased down by Uncle Sleazy in the LMP category. Kaz making a chase with the draft behind as well. Or no, is that... That may be an overlapped car, it looks like. Is that Rift Rafter? Okay, it is Rift Raft being overlapped. I misunderstood the leaderboards when I took a look earlier. As we see Gloyd coming down the back stretch towards the chicane, he is leading the LMP category, with Daniel not too far behind, dealing with Uncle Sleazy coming back with Rift Rafter between the two, a lap down. Kaz still leading the GT3s as they came out of the chicane. DBR chasing him down though with a few cars between the two. DHVR also doing the same. The overlap traffic definitely causing some chaos for those in the back. Gloyd almost losing it as they come out of the second chicane. Sleazy still having to make some catching up to Daniel and Gloyd, but Daniel not too far behind with only 2 seconds behind. As they come out of the end of the back stretch, here we go, making their way towards the end of Sector 2. Daniel once again being chased down by Rift Raft, who's actually a lap down. Rift Raft really going to have a miracle happen to be able to make up a position into that podium. But he's not holding back. He is wanting to unlap himself. But the contact is made. Contact is made. Going to go ahead and give the verbal warning. Obviously, we can't do anything in these public sessions, but we will encourage proper racing for sure. Daniel losing a little bit of time, but looks like Rift Raft may have gone off the track. That's going to end his race today. Daniel making the chase with Sleazy right behind him. Beautiful camera angle with the Ferris wheel in the background as our cars come roaring down in the night. That safety car taking up most of their daytime session, forcing them back to the headlights on the grid. Sleazy still making the chase. And as we take a look back, Kaz... Sorry about that, little technical difficulty. But as we come back, we see Kaz is still being chased down by DBR. Lloyd still leading the race with 6 seconds between the second and third driver. Kaz pulling away in first place in the GT3 category, with DBR still being chased down by DHVR. Let's go ahead and cut back to Daniel and Uncle Sleazy. As we join him on the cockpit, or not the cockpit, the chase cam, into the second part of the Sector 2 straight. Or I should say the not so straight with all the bends that come in between. Lloyd having that dominating lead still as he guides the pack with his headlights like Rudolph in the night. With his nose plate oh so red and bright. Daniel making his way down at the end of Sector 2 as they enter Sector 3. Let's go ahead and take a look at their timings to see if he has a chance to catch up. He does have a faster Sector 1, and it looks like a faster Sector 2. He is making the pace on Daniel with each sector. They may have one more lap after this, but it looks like lots of penalties given out now that we take a look. Daniel dealing with a 21-second penalty, so it's not going to matter too much. And even a 5-second penalty for Uncle Sleazy, almost the entire board suffering from what looks like to be time-cutting penalties. Or track-cutting penalties for time. Here we go, joining into the cockpit of Lloyd here. Making his way to the end of the last chicane of the track. I'm unsure if this is the checkered flag. We'll have to take a look. I still was not able to see it as they fly by. That is going to be the checkered flag, so congratulations to Lloyd for taking first place, Daniel in second, and Sleazy taking up the third place. You survived 30 drivers to make it to the end of Le Mans today. Kaz still racing down in Sector 2 to make his first place position for the GT3 category. chasing his way after the back markers. Looking at the gap, though, it looks like his position is secured as long as he doesn't go off track or crash. Same thing with DBR, as he has quite a bit of a gap towards DHVR with about 10 seconds. But honestly, it looks like the race we need to watch is going to be between Javi and Lacinta as they come down. Here's that beautiful Ferris wheel shot once again as the timer runs down to the end of the race. Javi looks like he's going to take it as they enter into the last chicane. And that's going to be the 4th place taken for Javi, with Lacinta right behind in 5th place. And as we look back, Kaz is going to take that 1st place position. Congratulations to Kaz for taking 1st place in the GT3s today. And then, of course, towards the end, we have Burke surviving in the GT4s. This seems to be a common theme. A little bit of disgruntledness from our drivers, but that was going to be an insane race today. Welcome to the chat, Fran Nisi. So yeah, congratulations to Gloyd, Kaz, and Burke today for making it through that race. That was insane.